Geek out! LaserDicks, you sexy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Where am I? In the village. What do you want? Information. Whose side are you on? That would be telling. We want information. 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 You won't get it. By hook or by crook. We will. Who are you? The new number 2. Who is number 1? You are number 6. I am not a number. I am a free man.
Hey, and welcome to another exciting episode of LaserDicks. I'm Chris.
And I'm Ken.
And today we're going to talk about a TV series that is near and dear to my heart.
Ooh.
And which I recently procured completely on a Laserdisc. And that series, my friends, is the renowned, I guess you could probably call it a cult classic, BBC series The Prisoner.
Oh.
Ran for 17 episodes back in, I probably should have looked this up, I think it's 1967. Late 1960s for sure. It doesn't say anywhere on here. Oh, wait. Well, no, this Laserdisc was made in 88. Thanks a lot, Laserdisc.
This one's a different printing. Maybe this one has
Yeah, maybe.
1998 was when it was printed.
Whatever, late 60s.
You're screwed. You done goofed,
Yeah,
kid. You done goofed, kid.
But the headpiece, I don't know. The
crowning
the complete whack job of Patrick McGowan's inner monologue on the dangers of groupthink and the wonderfulness of individuality. It's a fun series. If you're going into it looking for a concise story, that's my phone, not your phone. Why am I throwing it at you? If you're going into it,
rude.
If you're going into it looking for a concise storyline that makes sense on just the first viewing, or not even really paying attention to it, look elsewhere, because this is a existential mind fuck of a show. I've watched it in its entirety twice, and I still don't really know what's going on 100%. Because a lot of it, one, it's a product of its time.
Yeah.
It was super episodic.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is that you're going to catch it when you catch it. There's no DVRs, no home video recording whatsoever. So like they didn't make things that you needed to watch every single episode.
Yeah.
So there's not a linear running storyline, so therefore you could kind of pick it up at any time.
That's good.
It makes reference to it having time having passed, but the introduction of each episode is the exact same. It is essentially the cold open from the first episode, where it shows you the setup, kind of like in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the theme song is the backstory to the show.
Exactly. But then that brings up a point, because a lot of British TV was like that, because they didn't save certain tapes. Like, a problem with Doctor Who, like at least classic Who, is that a lot of the tapes that they had saved are destroyed because they didn't think anybody would want to watch them in the future. Yeah,
and you ran into the problem of either the BBC taping over them with other episodes. Like that almost happened to all of Monty Python's Flying Circus. And the guys that are in the Flying Circus, they banded together and bought the tapes from the BBC.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and that's why you have a complete archive of the Flying Circus TV show. Another thing that happened, I think multiple times, which is another reason why a lot of like Doctor Who is destroyed, is where they did keep the tapes, like caught fire and burnt down at least once. So a lot of classic Who is gone. Thankfully, The Prisoner was not subject to such a fate, and we have the entirety on LaserDisc. You can get DVDs on Amazon. You can stream it, various places. But we're here to talk about the LaserDicks.
Exactly.
And so it's an hour-long show. So max you're going to get is 2 episodes per disc.
Right.
The guy that I bought it from was one collection. Originally I had thought to do like, I was like, it's like 17 episodes. I'm not going to buy it all at once. So I'm going to buy it, like one at a time or, whatever, whenever I have money.
Right.
And like people were selling them for like $5 a disc. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But then I saw this dude selling all 17 episodes for like $70, and I did like quick fuzzy math in my head, and I was like, I'm pretty sure I'd be saving money in the long run because I know I want to own all these movies,
right,
or own all these discs. Might as well get it as quickly as possible. I was like, I've got an extra $100 lying around. I can afford to buy these. So I got them all by one sale. And I feel bad that I don't remember the guy's name, but it was one of my favorite sellers on eBay. The guy that always has the Nightmare Before Christmas blanket in the background. Thanks a lot, dude.
He's pretty rad.
Or chick, I don't even know. I don't know how you self-identify. I don't know how you were born.
Don't assume his gender.
Yeah, that's me. That's me falling victim to the patriarchy. But
they're outside for you. They get fires and pitchforks.
Right. So I was able to get the whole thing, and seriously, I love this series. The one problem that I have with it is, like I was saying, it's hour-long episodes. Mm-hmm. So you'd think, 2 episodes per disc, right?
Nope.
Not for most of this collection. So they did at least 2 printings of it.
Right.
One where they did 1 episode per disc,
mm-hmm.
and one where they did 2 episodes per disc. I think it's 15 out of the quick math again. 15 all but 2 of the discs in this collection. I don't even know how many discs there are because the math throws me off. But all but 2 of these discs are 1 episode per disc. Then I have 2 of the 2 episode per discs, which means I have, which episode is it again? Episode 11. I have episode 11 twice.
No.
Which is fine. It's checkmate. It's all right.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's not one of the quintessential. Like I was doing off mic, I was kind of, since Ken's never watched the show, I was off mic. I was like, well, if you want to borrow it, I would say this one. I basically picked out like 7 episodes that like I'm like, these are the ones that you need to see.
Mm.
The other 10, while not like just chuffa, are kind of just like, we need to round out with some more episodes.
Hey, Jimmy, you've got a good idea.
Yeah,
why don't you go?
I mean, they're all interesting episodes. Like I said, they're not episodic at all, except for the last 2. You do have to kind of watch the last 2 in succession. But a lot of them, like I said, it's basically just Patrick McGowan's character, number 6, fighting against the terrors of groupthink and becoming mutual with the village that you're in. And let me go ahead and get into it a little bit, since this is all we're talking about this episode. Let me go ahead and talk about what the show's about, just in case there are people that haven't seen it.
I mean, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So explain to me, buddy.
Yeah. I'll explain it to you as if you were a child.
Oh, okay, Daddy. Oh, God, no.
Please keep your kink out of my show. Yeah. So Patrick McGowan plays, as far as I'm aware, an unnamed spy. Throughout the series, he's referred to as number 6 by the village, and I'll get into that later. But to my memory, you never hear what his Christian name is or his birth name. But so he's a spy for the British government, MI6 or whatever. And he, in the cold open of the first episode, he resigns from his position. And you don't hear any of this. It's all overdubbed by the great music that I'm gonna pepper in here in the show somewhere, probably at the end, but who knows? Because it's a fun little, very simplistic but fun little theme song. So you don't hear what he's saying, but he's very angry and like looks like he's just like, fuck this and fuck you and I'm out. And then as he's like packing to leave London, he gets kidnapped. He gets drugged and kidnapped, and later he wakes up in the village, which is this very it itself is like a character of the show. It's this actual villa that's in Wales that I wanna go to someday. Their website, it's still an operating, like a hotel resort kind of place. Their website doesn't say what their rates are, so I assume it's really expensive.
Ah.
But I imagine it would be, just because of how it looks, how beautiful it is, and how wonderful of like a resorty, touristy area it is, even for Wales. Take that, Josh. He's Welsh. It's fine.
Watch him sneeze. Just
right.
like, why am I sneezing? Is someone talking about me?
But so he wakes up in the village. I wish I had done a little bit of research and could tell you what the name of the place is so you could look it up. But I mean, look up.
I got you, boo.
Thanks. Look, it's the village in The Prisoner, and it's like the Piedmont or something like that. But so he wakes up in the village and he's looking around. He's like, what the fuck's going on? It's this like picture perfect, just like resort town when everyone's acting weird. Everyone's calling me number 6. He finds his way to the main like government building kind of thing. And there he meets number 2, who he finds out is the person who's essentially running the village, or he's like the governing body. And he has he works for somebody, but he won't say who it is. And like the entire time, number 6 is just trying to figure out why he's been kidnapped and why he's being held prisoner here, hence the name.
And he was held prisoner in Port Mirion?
Oh, yeah, Port Mirion, yeah.
I mean, if you want to try to pronounce that better than I am.
It's, I'm going to go with Port Mirion. It's all one word, PortMerion, if you want to check it out and follow along with us, kids.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it is. Oh, it's so pretty. If I ever have the money to go to Wales, I'm at least going to visit there, if not stay there at least a night. So the entire time, basically, number 2 and his cohorts sprinkled in, hidden around the village, are constantly trying to basically extract information from number 6, specifically why he quit and what does he know, and you essentially you find out that this village is essentially a retirement village for spies and other people that have like super classified knowledge, and the people that are running the village essentially one want to have set it up to keep them safe in their retirement, and 2 to extract information from them, not unlike the like second act of the movie Double Team with JCVD and Dennis Rodman, where JCVD gets taken to an island where he is surrounded by retired spies, and he has to do stuff there, except they don't have Rover, which let me tell you about Rover. In the event that you try to escape from the village, there's a couple different ways that they use to get you back or to kill you, and one of them is Rover, which is this giant balloon thing that apparently has some sort of sentience or is controlled by someone. And if you're running away or trying to swim away or something like that, it comes bouncing after you and just smothers you. And then it doesn't really show specifically in the show what happens, so like it leaves it up to your to your imagination. But what it does show is from the inside of the bubble, it shows it pressing against you. So like in the movie Nightmare on Elm Street, when Freddy pokes his head through the wall above the girl's bed, and you just see it kind of like stretch around his face and his hands. That.
Jeez.
You see that from inside the bubble. And then in my headcanon, I guess you could say, my interpretation of what happens is that it like absorbs you inside it and then bounds you off to wherever you're going, either to kill you or to put you back in, whatever temporary prison or, back in your house.
Cell.
Yeah. That they've decided to send you. That's where the weirdness begins.
Oh.
That's like the least weird thing that happens in the show. It's like I said, it's all very existential. I like to. That's the big word that I've been using to describe it. Existential. there's a lot of stuff going on that's like high concept, and so like
high concept sci-fi rigmarole.
Exactly. I mean, the last episode, or the second to the last, the penultimate episode,
right?
Number 16, entitled "Once Upon a Time." Number 2, which so real quick, I'm bouncing around just like the show. Number 2, every episode is replaced with a new actor, which is a pretty interesting concept, and never expressly stated why. But like the main idea is like, well, this number 2 wasn't able to extract information from you, so we fired him and we've put a new number 2 in his place to find out more information, or to try to do a different thing to try to extract the information from you. In episode 16, Once Upon a Time, the number 2 from episode 5, the general, comes back, and he's like, they didn't want me to go full hog last time, but they're giving me carte blanche this time. That's not actually what he said, but or what he sounds like. But that's my interpretation and paraphrasing. But it's a super weird episode. He locks himself in the same room, a big room as number 6, and they're supposed to spend, I think it's a week in there together, and you watch them just slowly go insane. And it's so weird the way that it happens that I need to watch it a couple more times just to like really like put my finger on it. But essentially, they start reliving number 6's life, and number 2 is playing his father, and oh my god, it's so beautiful in its absurdity, and like you just keep seeing little vignettes from different eras of number 6's life, and like he does that to basically gain number 6's trust, to be like to incept in number 6 that he is his father.
Okay. And
then at the end, he's like, so why'd you quit? And number 6 is like, oh, by the way, this hasn't been affecting me at all this entire time. I've been playing you for a fool. Yeah. And like it actually backfires on number 2. Spoilers. And
you're literally about to give this to me to watch.
Yeah. Don't worry, I haven't told you. That's not... I've spoiled that one episode for you.
Okay.
Don't worry, I haven't spoiled the series. The last episode is all a trial where basically they're praising number 6 for beating number 2 in this gauntlet that he did. Like I said, the number episode 16 and 17 is the only 2-parter.
Right.
They're sitting there. They're holding number 6 on high, and being like, "You've won. You beat us. You are a true individual." Like these are actual lines, like which is why it's just such like
bizarre.
Like it's such a circle jerk for people that are like all about individuality. Which I mean, you should be. It's good to be an individual.
Yeah.
But this is like Ayn Randian level. Like yes. Take no shit from anyone, kind of shit, which is another reason probably why I love it so much, because I am one of those people.
Oh, jeez.
But so he's like put on a pedestal and allowed to basically govern over this trial where they're sentencing people to death for being different, and like literally one dude, his only lines in the entire episode is just to repeat a stanza from Dem Bones, just dem bones, them, dry bones, them, bones, them, dry bones, them, dry bones, let's hear the word of the Lord. Like that's all he says for the entire episode. It's an hour-long episode. Granted, he's not in the entire thing, but like that's all he says. And I was just like, oh my God. I love it, but I don't get it. I don't get what's going on. Like I feel like I'm missing something by being sober while I watch it.
Yeah.
But
you
yeah,
gotta open up your mind.
Yeah,
man.
and then like you kind of finally get revealed. Like one of the overarching subplots is who is number one, who's running the show.
Right.
You never find out who that is. You kind of, in a very weird way, find out who it is in in episode 17, Fallout, but like still don't. Like, I'm still confused. I've seen it twice, and I'm still confused over the reveal of it. After you watch it, maybe we can talk.
Yeah.
It's so good. But yeah, so like I said, a lot of the episodes are one-offs. They're just weird. Like, number 2 is like, okay, we're going to confuse him by hiring a man who is a master of disguise, and we're going to give him plastic surgery. We're going to make him look just like number 6, and then we're going to try to tell the real number 6. We're going to try to convince the real number 6 that he's actually the master of disguise, and he's just so deep undercover that he's forgotten.
Jeez.
And it like almost works.
Oh man, yeah. Like, I mean, if like with the help of amnesia or something like that, you can totally believe that whoever you're dressed up as.
And also to the point where like he starts, he tries to like write, and he's like right-handed, and they're like, oh, number 6 is left-handed, see? And they pull up the fake number 6, and he writes left-handed, and like they're like, he's a perfect shot, and this guy is like a terrible shot, and like it's so clever how it's done that I like it, and I don't want to spoil that episode because that big reveal is pretty fun how they made it work. But yeah, so and then there's shit like we've hooked him up to these electrodes, and we're going to watch his dreams, and we're going basically Inception. Yeah. Before Inception. Right. So clearly Christopher Nolan stole the idea from The Prisoner.
Seriously, man. Seriously.
And but yeah, just some beautiful episodes. They do an episode in the Old West.
Oh.
Because they've like drugged number 6 and made him believe that he's in an Old West town. And yeah.
Is it the It's Your Funeral one?
No, it's like episode 10 or 11-ish. I don't know. The one complaint that I have about these LaserDiscs is that they reuse stock photos that aren't actually from the episode. Like in this one that I have, episode 13, Change of Mind. They have the number 2 from episode 5 and 16.
Nothing to do with this one.
And yeah, he's not in this episode. But whatever. Then and just to touch on it, in 2009, AMC did a miniseries event where they remade The Prisoner.
Oh.
And after rewatching The Prisoner, after I got these LaserDiscs, I rewatched that one. Or I watched that one for the first time ever. Had to buy it on iTunes just to watch it.
And?
I had heard a lot of terrible things about it.
Oh.
No one seemed to like it. It got terrible ratings. Blah blah blah. I watched it. I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I expected to dislike it a lot more than I did.
Oh.
My complaints weren't grounded in the how dare you remake The Prisoner. The Prisoner is gold as it is. Although I may or may not feel that way, that was not what I disliked about the Prisoner. I thought they came from a good heart, or whatever you want to call it. Like they had the best of intentions. The problem is, in so doing, like they fumbled the catch.
Right.
They tried to modernize it, and they tried to explain what's going on by making it one continuous story, and actually like giving a quote unquote fuller explanation. Even though it's like it's their own thing, like Patrick McGoohan had nothing to do with it, wanted nothing to do with it.
Right.
Passed away shortly after it came out.
Aw.
Yeah. But like it was all right. Like there were a lot of things that I enjoyed. Like they rehashed a couple of the couple of the plots of some of the episodes in here, and some of them I liked how they did it. And for like the first half of the show, I liked where I thought they were going with the big picture, and then they got stuck with, you know, they again, much like the original Prisoner, it was a product of its time.
Oh yeah,
Lost was king.
Oh, geez.
And so they were trying to do the Lost formula, where, you know, like they have what's going on now, and then flashbacks, and then, you know, this stuff and that stuff, and like parallel storylines that aren't actually parallel; they're just crap. And then they intentionally didn't answer any questions until the end. And I'm like, no, I really wish that I had gotten like a slow build.
Yeah.
You know, not just here's all the answers. You know, and it was weird, and it didn't make any sense, and not in the like interesting way that like the original Prisoner didn't make any sense, that you're
right.
still like, oh, but that was still a fun ride.
Yeah, no.
It was just kind of like what?
Excuse me, what?
They were like, here's what it is, bye. Not here's what it is and here's why it makes sense, because it didn't make sense. Yeah, jeez. But yeah, so, but I spent $16 on the season on iTunes, and I don't think that I wasted my money.
Yeah.
So
how many episodes?
It was 6 episodes.
Okay, that's not bad.
No, it wasn't terrible. It was all, you know, HD and pretty, which is better. If you buy the DVD on Amazon, it's like $30, and it's just a DVD. It's not, it's not HD quality.
No, exactly.
But whatever. So that's The Prisoner. Do you have any questions, Ken?
Well, no, I'm definitely interested. I'm gonna have to check that out, especially like the one episodes that you recommended.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that's episodic kind of storytelling. I am a big fan of that. Somebody's been telling me to check out Black Mirror.
I've been wanting to check that out too. It's all on Netflix.
Well, one of these days I have to remember that I have a Netflix account.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it sounds interesting. I mean, I do want to give British humor, or not British humor, but British shows a shot. Now, I know that some British humor kind of falls flat on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I did enjoy Spaced for Simon Pegg.
Oh, Spaced is so good.
But then season 2, like, came around.
It gets a little weird.
Yeah. So then, whenever that happens, I'll watch season 1 of Spaced and then just immediately go, you know what? Hot Fuzz is a great movie. Just immediately switch gears. Like, seriously, like that. When I first saw that movie, I'm like, this is what scripting and editing, like this is a tight-knit package of a movie.
In film school, one of my classes, we watched Hot Fuzz and used it as a learning piece.
Oh man, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I'll have to show you later. The Edgar Wright had this they had this little documentary thing about him, that this Captain Kosaka or whatever. He's been doing like all these little mini documentaries about, like, you know, Adult Swim, Rick and Morty, like all these different shows and things, and he did one on he did one for the show, and it was pretty rad. Oh, for Edgar Wright, he did one for Edgar Wright, sorry. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty rad. But it's not LaserDicks, it's a YouTube video. So next time on YouTube Bros, hey, YouTube Bros.
Oh.
I spell another successful podcast series.
Yeah.
Well, till next time, guys. Does that wrap up what you want to say?
That wraps me up.
Well, seriously, let's put a bow on you and call it a day.
Oh.
This has been another episode of LaserDicks. I'm Chris.
I'm Ken. LaserDicks.
You got that Burger King thing stuck in my head. I hate you.
The McDonald's thing?
Yeah.
This has been another Geek Out production. If you enjoyed what you heard, hey, we've got a new commentary every Monday. We've got a special episode every Friday. Of course, there's the usual catching up show every Wednesday. And you get book club episodes just about every Tuesday these days. Thanks for listening.
I'll not make any deals with you. I've resigned. I will not be pushed, filed, stamped, indexed, briefed, debriefed, or numbered. My life is my own.